Welcome to the first ever podcast that doesn't have a name. I am your host, Cristo, or as some people call me, CJ. With me today is Danny.
Just Danny.
All right. So, we just got finished watching Khabib versus Dustin Gaethje, UFC 254.
Yes, sir.
And how did you find that?
Well, I mean, the main event itself or the whole card?
Just the main event.
Just the main event. So I had Khabib winning going in this.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually had Dustin Gaethje.
You just wanted to be controversial.
No, I really thought he could do it, and he was doing it.
Well, okay, because like they're both masters of their respective art.
That's it. But Dustin Gaethje's also got the defensive wrestling.
Yeah, but like as we could see in the second round.
Yeah, but
like he turned it around. He saw that the wrestling wasn't going to work, so he switched it to some Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and then it was lights out, man. Literally.
Yeah, but he was getting pretty beat up. He was.
Honestly, I was worried for him in the first round.
That's it, bro.
I was like, oh my God, yeah. Like, I didn't bet, luckily, because I would have been, like, super stressed out. But, yeah, it went the way I thought it was going to go, man. Like, it's just, you can't go against a guy like Khabib one way. It seemed like Dustin Gaethje, to me, only had one plan and one plan only. And he wasn't going to switch it up. He wasn't going to compromise. The same way he hasn't compromised ever since he came in fighting Michael Johnson. You know what I mean? And he said, I am here to put on a show and to fight and to go through wars. Not wrestle, not put anybody on the ground. I just want to fight. And obviously, Khabib doesn't have that same mentality. He fights for a different reason.
I'm going to be honest with you, I disagree, because ever since the Tony Ferguson fight, you could tell that something significantly changed. Like, not only is he fighting he was fighting for, the fans before, but then you could tell that he wanted the belt. Like, he was fighting for something bigger at that point, and he was fighting differently. And with no crowd around, he was able to focus and take instructions better, and that's what led to the Tony Ferguson fight. Him winning the Tony Ferguson fight and then coming back and then, doing it again with Khabib. He was very successful with what he was doing. Yes, he lost, but he was very successful with what he was doing.
He was successful, but what he was doing, he had been doing the whole, ever since he came in the league.
Less reckless. A lot smarter now, I would say that.
A lot smarter?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you see it that way, I would bet that the reason he started fighting more intelligently, in your opinion, was because he felt he was getting closer to the belt.
Exactly.
Before, he was just coming in trying to make his bones and prove himself as somebody who was worthy of competition. But now, I don't think he believed he could get this far. You know what I mean? But Khabib's a different animal, man.
Yeah, that triangle?
Khabib, I wasn't expecting that.
No.
But when we were watching it, actually, it cut off. And then as soon as it turned back on, we see both men on the ground, and Khabib's the one crying.
Yeah, we thought he was lost. No, it was good.
So it just goes to show that it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
At the same time, everybody has a fighter's chance. A fighter, as soon as you're in a fight with someone, there's always a 50% chance that you might.
You have a puncher's chance for sure, but.
Well, in this game, it's a fighter's chance, just a fighter's chance, right? Because there's a lot more comes into it than just punching, right? Boxing, different story, puncher's chance. But a fighter's chance, you can switch it up on your opponent at any time. You can go with the leg kicks or hooks or you can do whatever. You can take down. You can.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean. So there's more that goes into it.
A lot more options. A lot more.
For example, so on paper, back in the day when we used to watch. We saw Wanderlei Silva, being reckless, knocking people out. But then you went against a guy like Tito early in his career and he lost on the ground. It's the same concept. It's just, there's so much that goes into it, I find. And it's just, I don't know, man. I had my doubts in the first round, bro. I really did. I really thought I really thought that Gaethje was going to win as I was watching the first round. I was starting to change my mind as it was going on because I saw Khabib limping a bit. And that's the predicament that a lot of Gaethje's opponents find themselves in.
That's it, man.
So it's...
Like watching Gaethje work there, like I was positive that he was going to...
I'm still kind of disappointed that it didn't go like 5 rounds. I thought it was going to go 5 rounds.
I think it needed to be finished there. For Khabib, it needed to be finished right then and there. Because if you take it too long, you go too long into deep water with Gaethje, it'll end up like the Tony Ferguson fight, where you're too tired. Like Tony Ferguson was getting sloppy. You saw that Imanari roll. He couldn't shoot anymore. He couldn't... That's what happens when you take it too long with Gaethje. He'll leg kick.
Do you think that a Tony Ferguson fight versus Khabib would have been more interesting than what we witnessed?
I can't say it. I really don't know. That's one of those things where like at that point, if I said anything, like it's almost smoke because it's not real until you actually see it. Like, and that's just it. Is like we saw Tony Ferguson versus Gaethje,
right?
And that was crazy entertaining. That was like a master class they put on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then after we got to watch, and mind you, like Tony Ferguson's so tough, man. He took so many hits, like holy cow.
He did, man.
But like, that's just it. Is like the reason why the fight that we just witnessed, Khabib versus Justin, might not have been as exciting is because Khabib finished it early. They didn't let it go into deep waters, whereas Tony Ferguson went into deep waters with Gaethje. So it's hard to say. If they went 5 rounds, maybe it would be interesting. But at this point, like I'm kind of looking at Khabib's grappling skills, and I'm thinking like, could Tony defend that? Could Tony work with that? You know what I mean? Like he's looking so good that it's almost like he's supreme at this point. Like. I'm not even sure anybody can grapple with him. And I know that's an unrealistic way to look at it, but you know when fighters create an aura around themselves?
Yeah.
Where they just, like that Mike Tyson aura?
Yeah.
John Jones?
Yeah.
When he was taking down every single ex-champion.
Even Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey, that was a huge one.
Yeah.
Where they started creating this hype, this smoke, where they were saying that she could beat Mayweather. You know what I mean? Like this was insanity. Like the legend got so large that they were just saying anything. You know what I mean? So,
That's what happens, man. One person does something, everybody runs with it.
Society.
Everybody.
So it's just that, and I remember like everybody was on this train, and it's just like it was outlandish. It was honestly outlandish.
Joe Rogan went apeshit.
Yeah. Dana White was pushing it. I remember every day he was on there saying some stuff, and then saying like I think at one point they may have even like because I remember Dana White was always fighting Golden Boy there. What's his name? Oscar De La Hoya, and saying that she could maybe even beat one of his fighters or even him or something like that, and like just some outlandish stuff. But at the end of the day, I don't think Khabib looks so good. It's his grappling looks magical at this point. I'm going to be honest with you.
That was intense. Like I would go as far as to say that he countered a leg kick, man. He countered a leg kick into that position. Like he reversed it, type of thing. It sounds stupid. It doesn't sound real, but he turned the leg kick against Justin Gaethje.
I wouldn't say that.
Because he fell on the ground, and then he used that position to his advantage to put Gaethje on the ground, and then.
But it wasn't off a leg kick there. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure.
I remember. So Justin leg kicked him.
Bro, we're gonna have to fact check you.
No, definitely. That's what I.
We already got time for that.
Yeah, but that's what.
We're already at 10 minutes.
No, we're not gonna look at him. But like from what I saw, Justin Gaethje leg kicked him. Khabib fell, grabbed Justin Gaethje, put him on the ground, And then after that, what happened then? Like he mounted him. Like
he was on top.
He was on top of him,
working that triangle.
Exactly.
Flipped him over. Like you saw him working it in, grabbing a leg, started switching him over, if I remember correctly, and then he started.
But if you look at the catalyst of that sequence,
it was already locked in.
Yeah, but it started from because me when I look at a victory, and the way like on the playback when they were showing the replay, they started from the leg kick, and then Khabib went to work. The catalyst was the leg kick. That's how it started. The sequence, when they were.
What I remember is he shot in for the leg, and then he kind of, Gaethje kind of stuffed it, and then Gaethje got on top of him, and then Khabib worked his way to full mount. Like, that's what I remember. And then after it just, it was, I kind of feel like it was a mistake of Gaethje, after he kind of stuffed it, to kind of jump on top of him. He should have just made space and continued doing what he was doing. You know what I mean? Because at one point, like it's just that, like he stuffed that takedown, and it's from those leg kicks. We witnessed the same thing with the Tony Ferguson fight.
Yeah,